Peter Toohey is a multi-talented man. More than just an all-round artist, his attitude is that if a job's worth doing, it's worth doing well, regardless of how long it takes to do it. As you'll see, Peter Toohey's art is more than just paint on canvas. It's in life itself. One could say that Peter has developed the art of life. An hour's drive from Sydney are the Southern Highlands of New South Wales. The town of Mittagong was the first settlement here. Today it's the main centre of dairy and vegetable production, as well as mixed farming. However, not everyone here leads a busy farmer's life.
I'd be classified personally as not a very productive person. So it's when these things come to me, then I just implement them.
These things are Peter Toohey's bursts of artistic inspiration. One such burst was to change the course of his life. It happened in the mid-60s when he was a successful commercial artist as well as racing car driver in Sydney.
I was at that point doing illustrations for Chrysler, and one day in the studio I drew up a car that I thought I would like, and then I made a quarter-size model of the car I proposed. I got quotations as to making that, but I thought, because I've made a quarter-size model, I could possibly make the whole car. And being a dreamer, I really didn't realise the work that this entailed. And I had the outside shape finished in a year, but then I got into all the internal shapes, and the years just flew by, and 10 years later I had it.
What Peter had was his dream car, which he christened the Toohey, a play on his name. It was to take him on an epic journey from his home in Sydney to Mittagong, where he lives today. The Toohey is an extraordinary car, made by an extraordinary artist. Peter finished working on it in 1973, which makes it 26 years old. After he added the fiberglass body to the wheels, then the doors were fitted. A cleverly adapted metal flush button from a toilet cistern serves as the spring which opens the aptly named gull wing doors. Hydraulic balancers make them very light to lift. The car sits on wheels of Peter's own design. The leather seats have been made, designed and meticulously hand-stitched also by Peter. The motor is powered by a Porsche engine. Apart from the mechanicals, Peter designed and handmade just about every part of Toohey. At the time, experts in the field labelled the car a breathtaking achievement, an example of real craftsmanship. He built the Toohey in a small garage in the Sydney suburb of Bondi. To build more of them, he needed more space. So he moved to Mittagong and contemplated renting a small church for studio space.
I went in, loved the shape, I loved the space, but the windows were quite small, little stained glass windows. So I came away and thought, I'll design my own house, similar shape to the church, but good lighting. Large doors, no steps, not anticipating the vine would grow as quickly and all over the windows, so I end up with a lovely building with hardly any light in the summer.
As with the Toohey sports car, Peter also designed and built his house almost single-handedly. He had most of the bricklaying done by others. It had to be 3 layers thick up to the 10-foot mark. He finished off the kitchen bathroom, built all the frames and put the roof on. He put the rafters on the roof one at a time through an internal scaffolding. The scene was set for a series of Toohey kit cars to roll off the production line. All was going well until the Department of Motor Transport stepped in.
Well, the law as such had always been that I could produce 50 such cars without having to comply with the regulations. this was changed to 0. They registered my car without even looking at it, but then told me to forget about the whole project, which for me was very difficult after 10 years' work. So I decided to push on with the project. But 3.5 years later, they told me I could make 10 cars a year, and this was just unsatisfactory.
The department's decision had a devastating effect on Peter's life. His marriage at the time ended in divorce. He was emotionally shattered and artistically crushed.
In one way, I think it was advantageous that it happened, in other ways devastating, but it steered me in different directions. I forgot about profit as such and started to think about how I felt inside, what I really wanted to do with my life. And I can see it now. It's just the pursuit of things I can create, and I'm fulfilling these things now, and I've never felt as happy in my life. So.
One major reason for Peter's happiness is his new family, wife Janine and 5-year-old son Jack.
Well, we've been married 4 years. Jack came along before we were married, and we're married now, and our respective marriages had failed, and I had been married 3 times before, and I've just never been as happy in my life. And as I tell people, if I'd have met Janine firstly, I'd have been married once.
From working as an artist for a living, Peter now makes an art of living. The Toohey wasn't the end of his passion for art, for the Toohey is a work of art which just happens to be a motor vehicle. Having built the Toohey, Peter felt encouraged to try again.
I thought of making a Bugatti because, to me, Ettore Bugatti wasn't just a car manufacturer. To me, he was an artist, and I think the Type 35 Bugatti is a work of art. And having Jack and having the expertise, having built the little sports car, I felt I've got to do this thing, and the end result is very, very pleasing.
Okay, Jack, you ready? You're going to put your suit on so you can go driving with your racing gear on? Yep. Okay. You have to put this on so that it protects you, doesn't it? In case of accidents or rain.
Try it!
Oh, I'm allowed to talk. Can I talk? Yes. All right, zip her up.
Well, for a child of that age, to drive a little car like that could be complex, but we've tutored him slowly, and it only really has one lever that operates everything. There's no pedals in it. It's fully automatic, and the same lever operates reverse, is the differential and also the braking. He loses concentration a bit. Jack's been known to head directly for the creek, which isn't too exciting.
Peter's creativity also extends to painting and sculpture. His painting of Sydney Symphony Orchestra's Donald Hazelwood was entered in the Archibald Prize. The dead kangaroo on the red Qantas tail represents the devastation of local fauna that Peter witnessed on roadsides around Australia. This one of Janine and Jack is in pastels done on sand. Christ on the cross is made up of a myriad of drips, resins and colours, Peter's interpretation of our choice of life, 2,000 years of choice. The rifle with a flute for a barrel, representing the conflict between beautiful music and the devastation caused by weapons.
The Hasselblads, to me, is the ending of an era. Camera's dying, as far as I'm concerned. I'm doing a lot more drawing and visualising.
The Hasselblad camera isn't the only thing in a cage.
Probably the prisoner in the cage, it's me in the cage, and just at periods of my life. I'm out of the cage now.
The condom work seems to speak for itself. Use condoms and live. Stop using them and darkness follows. Peter's current work features over 1,000 handmade ants.
I've made this for the reason to explain to myself this complex thing of people as against you or for you. I've called the piece Jesu Christi, which could be interpreted Jesus Christ or Jesus Christ. So that's the project at the moment.
Peter entered many of his works in competitions. Some have received high praise, but he has still to win a major prize.
Very interesting. A story of my life seems to be rejection. Not completely, but we'll keep pushing on. They're actually pieces of...
While one of his sculptures is on display at the Berrima District Art Society, another one had not been accepted by the local judge. Titled A Sense of the Incomplete, it is 2 triangles of billiard balls which need to be hung in separate areas. One triangle is obviously incomplete, as the missing ball is in the other triangle.
I think there is almost a conceived idea about what art should be, and I don't believe this. I think there's all forms of creativity, from gardening to painting.
And what does the president of the Art Society think of it?
And there's a whimsy in it, you know. And I can see that it wouldn't appeal to some people. It would appeal to others. That's art.
Some great artists only achieved fame posthumously. Whether Peter Toohey's art is remembered by art historians or not, he won't be too concerned, because the art of life seems much more important to him at this stage in his life.
I have the advantage now I'm retired, so no, there's no set agenda. It's the nicest time I've ever had in my life. It's relaxed. I've got a great partner, a supportive partner, and it's whatever happens, happens.